Hi everybody, this is Katie and I am going to be doing a full book review for you today on the American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin. This is a historical fiction novel. It is probably one of the few historical fiction novels that I have picked up. Just the genre never really has appealed to me in the past, and for whatever reason I was attracted to this book. I was attracted to the cover. I was attracted to what it had to say on the back, and I decided that I would give this book a go. It was a very interesting book overall. The plotline was interesting. It definitely kept my attention. It had me on the edge of my seat for a little bit. There is no magical aspect to it. It's not a retelling or anything. It is a straight-on historical fiction novel. A non-spoiler summary of this book is a woman named Cora is the richest girl in America, and it is coming of time where she marries. She is in love with a good friend of hers, but because of her financial standing and what he wants to do with his life, which is artistry and painting, they determine that they cannot be together and they go their separate ways. Cora then takes a family vacation with her mother to England, where she meets Ivo, who is a duke, and they hit it off and get married. And from that point on, Cora's life has completely and drastically changed, and she's not sure if it's for the better or not. So that is the non-spoiler summary of this book, and I gave this book a 3 out of 5 on Goodreads. I was very disappointed with the ending of the book. I was kind of overwhelmed with everything that happened with Cora, and it didn't really do it for me. I fought with myself on how I was going to rate this book on Goodreads for a good day before I actually rated it, and I decided a 3 out of 5 because there were a lot of aspects about this book that I enjoyed. The cover is beautiful. The story itself is very well thought out, very well detailed, but I was just too overwhelmed and too disappointed by a lot of what was happening in the book and how it ended. So that is the non-spoiler section. We're going to move ahead to the spoiler section. So if you want to go ahead and pick up this book and read it for yourself, you can come back to this video and we can have a spoiler discussion about it afterwards. So I actually took a lot of notes while I was reading this on my iPhone, and some of it was like, oh dang, and other parts were like, oh, I saw that coming, and I was really hoping that didn't happen, but it happened. So yeah, she in the first 27 pages we learn about her and her financial status, and she kisses her first love interest, Teddy. Oh, she had a concussion. When she had the concussion in the book because she fell off the horse in England on page 49. It was hilarious. Her mother is very eager to marry her off, and I understand that's something of the time where, you get married at a younger age so you can have babies and stuff like that, and that was something that was of the time period, but she's very, very eager to marry her off, which kind of annoyed me a little bit. The piano playing, oh my gosh, I loved the scene where Cora and Ivo are playing the piano together. as a musician myself, I understand how music can bring souls together and it can heal people, and it's fantastic. Page 112, they got engaged. Right out of the boat, they're engaged. And I because I didn't know at the time what was going to be happening in the book, I thought that that was a bit rushed, but I see now that they had to get engaged so early in order for the plot to work and not have the book be like 7 million pages long. The book is 465 pages long. The snake tattoo, that wasn't exactly really explained on Ivo's mother's hand, just that it was a symbol that, you know, she got jiggy with a lot of people. She's pregnant, got pregnant really quick, and this is when we started seeing Ivo getting angry a lot. He would go back and forth, very extremes with his emotion, which as I was reading it, I was thinking maybe he's bipolar, because we already know that he was reclusive after his brother died, which we found out later. So I thought maybe he was there was a mental illness going on there. Turns out that was wrong, and I'll get to that in just a minute. So he gets angry a lot, and she's just trying to like bring back the romance that she felt while she was first meeting him, and trying to get back that wooing sensation. And like when he got super mad at the first painting, that's when she announced that she was pregnant. The painting that she hung in the chapel to kind of say, hey, I'm pregnant, and she had went out and she bought the painting, and it was expensive, and to her it was pocket change because she is so rich. I thought that whole aspect was a little unbelievable, simply because she would talk about like starting schools or rebuilding houses in the village and making a hospital and doing this and doing that, and I'm thinking, how much money does Home Chick have? Like, seriously, her father made the fortune off of flour and wheat for the family, and in that, like, that's a profitable market, and especially in the time setting where this book is set, that's a very, very profitable market. But it seemed like she just had an infinite amount of money, and it was just flowing in and kept flowing in and kept flowing in. I didn't really understand that. When she gets tricked for the portrait to have be painted of her, it was, and that gets revealed, and she didn't see the portrait before it got revealed, and the drama that came of that, I was biting my nails the entire time. Oh my gosh, I was sitting on my bed, my nose in the book, hardcore, like this. My dog, which is on my lap asleep right now, was staring at me like I was insane. And that's just like where things just started to go cray cray in this book. He accidentally announces at the party where the portrait of her is revealed that she is pregnant, which kind of then hinders her activity because they don't want her to overstress herself and lose the baby. So now that that came out, she's basically now very, very limited in what she can and can't do. And Ivo was a total jerk about that. Man, he was a jerk in a lot of this. He just would get super, super angry, and then he would be super nice and super sweet, and I would like the character again, and then he would just turn and rip people apart, and it was horrible. She started taking solace in a friend of Ivo's wife, Charlotte, and decides that Charlotte, who's being so nice and kind to her, should be one of the godparents of the baby. And of course, Ivo is kind of like chastising her for her decisions on that aspect for everyone. Every godparent. The baby's gonna end up with 4 godparents, 1 American and 3 English. The American godparent is Teddy. So it was that, I thought that was a nice little tribute there. So when the baby is born, it is a very hard delivery. She doesn't remember a lot about the delivery as it's happening, which kind of made it seem like, boom, baby. But yeah, she names the baby Guy, which is after Ivo's deceased brother. And I think she does that to try to like bring Ivo back closer to her and her heart and her soul and stuff like that. And he says a line along something saying, "I now have everything that I want." And I thought that was super sweet, and I thought that they were going to be happy. But no, because who wants to be happy? After the baby is born and the baby is a couple months old, that's when it comes out that Ivo was then cheating on Cora with Charlotte. And it's Charlotte's husband that brings it out. And again, I was sitting there biting my nails, and I just, at that point, I had absolutely zero respect for Ivo. And I kind of wanted to put the book down, because with the portrait and the Teddy and the baby and things happening with her maid Bertha, I was just like, no, I'm getting close to done. I'm done. But I only had like less than 100 pages left, so I pushed through the last few pages. But there were comments like, Ivo wants homegrown, meaning he doesn't want foreigner. He doesn't want to be with a foreigner, an American. He wants to be with someone who is English born, homegrown, which just ticked me off. Cora then asked her mother for help and for advice, and she's thinking about getting away, and her mother just kind of goes, "No, not my circus, not my monkeys, peace, bye." And her mother was frustrating from the beginning of the book, but it just kind of made it all the more frustrating. Bertha's mother dies, which made me feel for Bertha. I mean, she was a character throughout this entire book as Cora's maid, but we never really saw her backstory. We knew that she was African. We knew that she was sending money home, but we didn't really know much about that. So it was interesting. So her mother dies and her heart breaks. Like, they decide that they're just going to run away. Cora, the baby, and Bertha, they're just going to run away. They're going to leave, they're going to take the baby, and they're going to go, and they're going to find Teddy, and they're going to have a happy life. And Teddy is going to be waiting for them at the train station, and that was kind of what I wanted for them at that point, because Cora deserved to be happy, and she was going to be happy with Teddy and having Bertha there and having her child. And Teddy was willing to take the child in and raise the child as his own, and like, that would have been a happy, perfect ending for me. But that is not what happened, and this is where I just was so glad that the book was over, because I couldn't take any more of it. Ivo intercepts Cora and convinces Cora to stay, and she stays with Ivo, and they're raising the baby together, and he is still doing everything that he wants to do, and she just takes it at that point. She doesn't leave. She just copes with her husband cheating on her and leaving her and yelling at her, and she just accepts it, and that ticked me off. And that is where the book ended, and it frustrated me. Frustrated you? Let me know in the comments below, and I will gladly have a discussion with you. If you thought that this was a perfect ending, let me know in the comments below, and I will gladly have a discussion with you. If you read this book and you have an opinion about it, tell me about it, because honestly, maybe I'm interpreting this all completely and totally wrong, and you need to correct me. And go ahead and correct me. I want to have conversations with you. So there we go. That is The American Heiress by Daisy Goodwin. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I wanted to give it a 2, but I am gracious when it comes to rating books. Follow me on all of my social media. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Snapchat. I have a website. You can email me. You can find me on Facebook, Katie Charles. I'm also on Goodreads. So go ahead. You can follow me on Goodreads. I am an author, so I have an author profile on Goodreads. So if there's any confusion, that's how that works. And I will leave all of my names in the description below so that you can find it all. And yeah, insert a creative outro here. I will see you in my next video. I have also started a series called Rush Reviews, where I talk about books that I have read quickly. Not long videos like this. This is more of a discussion, but I just do a quick summary, what I think about it, and I try to aim for it to be 5 minutes or less. Rush Reviews. So there we go. That is the end of this video. I am going to be planning on putting new videos out every Tuesday and Thursday. And with that, I will talk to you soon. Bye!